What's going on, you guys? Nick here, Mr. Millionaire Insight. What's going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. In this live, I want to talk to you guys about how to start a digital business for free. Yes, you've heard me right. For free. I understand immediately how you would think that myself, I've talked about how to pay to get into the industry of e-learning or the knowledge-based industry, or how to get started with either my programs or programs like mine, a digital franchise like mine. But I want to actually show you how you can start doing this using your cell phone, using your free social media platform that you're on right now, wherever you're watching this, and use your story and problems that you have solved for you, and so you can be able to provide those solutions to those problems to people who need them right now. So if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, catching one of my live streams, make sure you tap in, make sure you follow, make sure you turn on post notifications so you know when I go live and when I post videos. One of the first things I have to tell you in this particular video is that yes, you are going to hear me talk about things that are behind the paywall. I'm just going to be upfront with you about that. But I want to first give you a plan that you can actually start doing this for free. Now, what's not going to be for free is the help, right? Beyond this video, beyond this live stream, help is not going to be for free, right? Because people ask me all the time, Nick, how come digital marketing and digital marketing courses and programs, why aren't they free? Can't I go to YouTube? Can't I go to Instagram? Can't I go to whichever social media profile and actually learn marketing, learn how to start a digital business for free? Yes. And this essentially adds to that, right? Because this is free information. By the way, if you're just joining me, let me know where you're watching from. I'm broadcasting from Central Florida. I love to know which state across America is watching me. So make sure you let me know in the comments below where you're tuning in from. All right. So, and I'll try to take some questions towards the end of the stream here. We live for about 40 minutes. I'm going to break down how you can get started. Well, first, a little bit about my story, a little bit about how you can get started making income using social media and learning how you can create assets, digital products that you can offer yourself today, right? And how you can get started in the knowledge based industry, right? So, I'm going to offer you a chance to join the Kingdom Digital Academy, which is my academy where I do provide coaching, where I do provide mentorship, where I do give you access to digital products, digital franchises that I already designed, already built, already have selling that you can leverage so you can start learning and you have something to bring to the marketplace. If you have questions about that, you can put the questions in the comments below. I will try to get to as many of those as possible. If you are so inclined to share, you can share this as much as you can because I want to be a resource for people to learn exactly how they can create income using their God given purpose, using the thing that God gave them. Because I believe, as the Bible says, your gift will make room for you. God gave you something specific, God gave you gifts with an S, right? God gave you gifts with an S, with an S. So make sure you know that you can tap in and use those gifts and use those talents and use those abilities so you can be able to create things that will pay you, right? Now, why am I doing this? If you've watched my account, if you've watched my videos, if you've watched what I have created on this platform and others, why would somebody who has made 4 to 5 figure days from home continue to turn around and to give free value and free information, right? Why? Simple. Because when I was an individual that did not have this information and didn't have the money to go get mentorship to be able to do this in the first place, I wanted somebody to tell me, hey, I know that you see people paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to be able to do this very thing that you are seeing here before you. But here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to give you exactly what to do today so you can go out and start building. And when you're ready to get guidance, when you're ready to get some mentorship, that and you start making your headway, you can invest in what it is I have. I want to be able to do that because that's what I needed, right? By the way, if this is your first time here, make sure you follow me. Make sure you put new in the chat and make sure you let me know what city in the US that you're watching me from. All right? Again, my name is Nicholas Francis, aka Mr. Millionaire Insight. My goal here is to help you establish, grow, and monetize your social media platform. All right? So we're gonna get you into how you're going to start a digital business today for free. All right. So give me 1 second here. I just want to share this to my stories. By the way, if you're not going live, you really need to. If you have the ability to go live on this platform, I don't know what the requirement is. It used to be 1,000 followers. People have been going live with less lately, but if you're not going live and you intend to use this platform to make some type of income, not going live will hurt you more than it helps you to not go live. Because listen to me, you not leveraging the most advertised feature on this platform, or for that matter, any platform, you not utilizing that and having the goal to make income and just not doing it, it doesn't make any sense. So I don't care if you don't know what you're talking about. I don't care if you're not sure about what you're talking about. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. What is that? Fared? Thank you so much, Fared. I appreciate you. Where are you watching from, Fared? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you're not going live, even though you don't know what you're talking about or not sure what you're talking about, bro, go live. You understand? RJ, what's going on, bro? What's going on? It's been a minute since I see you, bro. What's going on with you? Thank you so much for joining, my friend. How have you been, brother? How have you been? So, anyways, that's how you know we're live, guys. And you know, if you're on live, that's your way to practice. I've been going live on this platform, this particular platform, for about 3 years. I've been going live, period, for about, what is that, 11 years, 10, 11 years, live streaming. Go live, all right? Go live. It doesn't matter which platform you're on, they're using live streams to promote the platform. Because why? Live streaming helps people connect with users that are on the platform. All right? So if you're not going live, make sure you are. Because when, like I said, whether you're experienced or not, it doesn't matter. You need to be leveraging live streaming no matter what platform you're on. That's your first big tip. Right? Let's see. Been great, brother. Wifey and I had our son on the 11th, on June 11th. Been on the dead grind Oh yeah, been on the dad grind. Okay, so I'm sorry. I promise you these glasses work, right? So congratulations to you, RJ. God bless you, my friend. Right. So congratulations on the new kid. I appreciate you sharing that so much. So again, I know you don't know what sleep is like right now, but hang in there, right? We that's one of the things I want to help people do, as new parents, as parents in general, having the ability to build a business and get customers into your business even while you sleep is one of the biggest wins in the last 20 years. I don't care who you are, what you do, or where you from. That is one of the biggest wins that anybody could get. And the ability to learn how to do that is next level. Sorry, I got my kids here. As y'all know, I'm a homeschool dad, so just bear with me, okay? But let's see. The main thing I want to impress upon you is that making an income while you're sleeping is a goal. It's not a right. You're not gonna hit that day one, and I think that's a big expectation that a lot of people have when they get on social media and they see all these people making tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in a few months. That's the exception and not the rule, right? Can we put agreed in the chat? If you understand that that's how that works, it's going to be the exception and not the rule, right? Understand that. What's up, Wolf Spider? How you doing? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time, my friend. I'm only gonna be going live for about 40 minutes, but I want to give you guys the skills in order to get started with your digital business today, right? So first, and doing this, I usually start here, right? I usually start here with misconceptions, right? And we covered two so far, right? But I want to show you guys this. One of the biggest misconceptions about starting a digital business is that you need to know everything right away. Please, 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 guys, please understand that you are here to learn, especially if you've never sold anything online, if you've never done any kind of business before. You need to know that learning is going to be your biggest focus. Learning, applying, and sharing what you're learning is going to be the biggest way that you can succeed right away, right? All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I had to not mess with the kiddos, but make sure they're okay. All right. So, misconception number two is that you have to know everything right away. You don't. I know it seems like that because everybody is processing knowledge and telling you that you got to know this, you got to know that, you got to know the other thing. Here's what you need to know right out the gate. You need to know that you have a smartphone that's connected to Wi-Fi. You need to know that you have a story that tells people who you are, what you're about to do, and how it's going to make a difference for the person watching by telling people how it's making a difference for you. Because one of the biggest things, the biggest questions that I get in the last 3 years of doing this and running a digital business successfully, I might add, is I haven't made a sale yet. What do I tell people? Here's what you tell people. I haven't made a sale yet, but here's what I'm learning, right? That's the second step, right? So the first thing is letting people know who you are. because people buy products and services. They don't buy products and services, they buy people. So you have to let people know who you are, right? The second thing is you have to let people know why you decided to do the thing that you're doing, right? Or the thing that you're about to do, right? You have to know what you have to let them know what your expectations were and how that expectation has changed. Now that so you have to let people know what your expectations were before you started. Then you let people know what your expectations are now that you started, because obviously you have known what you knew before you got started with whatever you got started with. But now that perception and that expectation has changed. So let people know what that is. Before I got started in digital business or trying to build a digital business, I thought I had to be a tech wizard. Me personally, I was that guy in my family, right? If it had anything to do with technology, if it had anything to do with a computer, they called this guy, right? Now, I understand that there are people out there that weren't that guy or that girl. You're probably the least tech savvy person on the planet, but it's okay. Because even though I was that guy for my family, because I started what it is I started, I didn't have to be the most tech savvy guy in the bunch. So, which means you don't have to be the most tech savvy person in order to get started with a digital business. And being that my misconception, now that I'm in what it is I'm into, I understood that I could learn what I needed to learn step by step. I didn't have to eat an entire apple in one bite. I could take it step by step. And now that I realize the step by step process, I can actually implement, learn, implement, and as I get better, as I continue to do it every day, posting 2 to maybe 3 times a day, just sharing my story, it actually became more and more simple. And as time went by, I got faster and faster. And now that I know what I know now, I can continue to build based on that. And every day I get a new piece of information that adds to my knowledge. If you're just like me, who you're a tech savvy person or you're a not tech savvy person, if you want to come on the journey with me, I would love to show you exactly what it is I'm learning. Let's do this together, because I understand that people get into business and they might feel like they're alone. But I want you to understand, with what I'm doing right now, I'm in business for myself, but I'm not in business by myself. So put the hunted in the comments, and I would love to show you how I got started. You see how I did that? Put makes dollars in the chat. People say makes sense in the chat, but I'm saying makes dollars because as you get these revelations, it'll start to make dollars, right? So that's telling people who you are, what you do or what you're doing, and how it can make a difference for them and how it makes a difference for you, right? Here's the other thing. When you're telling people something, anything, it doesn't matter what. If you say, like, okay, so this way, if I say to you, you can make $2,500 a day, right? You can make $2,500 a day getting on social media and sharing your story, sharing digital products, sharing digital business. What could you assume from that? He might be telling the truth. He might be legit. He might be able to show me how. But there's that air of doubt, isn't there? Because it's just some guy on social media telling you it's possible, right? But you don't know that. Nobody knows that. But why is the e-learning industry, why is digital marketing the most valuable skill in human history? Why have people invested trillions, really? Because if the e-learning industry is a multi-billion-dollar a day industry, I'm not making that up. Forbes did that. Forbes published that article, several articles on the e-learning industry, right? So I didn't make that up. But why is it so valuable then? It's because of the fact that people understand that they don't know what they don't know. But they get on social media and they learn things. And they pay to learn things. But what people have a hard time understanding is that they will pay you for the things you have learned. Put I have the power in the chat for me. Somebody, put I have the power in the chat for me. Right? See, you'll see this on the news feed. You'll see this on the For You page that you have to pick a niche. You have to pick a category. You have to pick an industry. Who told you that? You don't have to pick a niche. You have to realize that you are the niche. So this is why the first thing on this list up here is content creation, right? Content creation is simply you creating a video, right? You creating a video that tells people who you are, what you do, and how it helps you, that informs the person watching how it can help them, right? And you give a call to action at the end of your video. Every video, 9 out of 10 videos that you create need to have a call to action. Somebody put the words call to action in the chat for me, right? Having call to actions in your video leads people through the process, right? And this is where I'm going to tell you about one of the scariest words to new people on social media. Sales. How many of you know what sales is? Can anybody guess what it's supposed to be? Right? Can anybody take a guess as to what sales is supposed to be? Right? Put it in the chat if you think you know what it is. Right? Put it in the chat. Let me see. Right? Sales is supposed to be, okay, close. Sales is supposed to be where you show the other person why you made a decision. Simply put, sales is showing someone else why you made a decision, right? Now, you may not realize this, but you've been selling your entire life. And what you actually fear is not sales. You fear coercion, forcing an individual to make a decision that they didn't want to make anyways, right? Hard closing people. You see coercion every time you go to a car dealership, right? How many of y'all been to a car dealership and within the first 7 seconds of you putting your front tires on a dealership, you get swarmed by the salesman, right? You get swarmed. And you see that that is the first thing that you never liked. That you haven't even decided on a car, but they've already decided that you gonna get one of them. You know that you would like to leave with a car, but you haven't made a decision yet. But see, the best sales tactic, the best salesperson is someone that can have move a product, business, or service, and the person being sold to don't even realize. Why? Because they ask questions. And all they're doing is providing the answers in such a way that the person they're talking to arrives at the conclusion themselves, right? So instead, in your content, instead of asking, are you tired of your job? You don't ask people, are you tired of your job? That's like asking a fish about water. Why would you ask? Of course, I'm tired of my job. Tell me something I don't know. Are you tired of being in debt? Tell me something I don't know. Instead, ask a question like this. Am I the only one that feel like debt is crushing me? Or am I the only one that feels like debt crushes? That you feel like you work so hard, but yet you're keeping so little? Which question do you think is more powerful? Asking someone if they're tired of being in debt, or asking someone if they also feel like they're working hard and getting nothing in return? Which one's more relatable? Right? See, when you ask questions like that in content, people start to pay attention. If you saw a video that started like that, how many of y'all actually going to listen more? Put me in the comments. Right? Why? Because you're learning to be relatable. It gets you pulled into the video because why? You feel like the person talking to you is actually speaking directly to you, when actually they're just talking into the camera about something that they felt. But again, it's something that I've been talking about inside my academy, where you're not the only one, right? Understanding that you're not the only one is the key to creating content. Because everybody will ask on all up and down the news feed, listen, I want to know how to create content. How do I create content that converts? The easy answer to how to create content that converts is creating content that relates. But you see the trouble is people, creators, even in the beginning, myself, I got caught up in the fact of, what do I want to create content about today? Instead, you should be asking yourself the question, what do people need to hear from me today? And see, this is why I love my relationship with God, because I pray and I ask the Holy Spirit, please tell me, what do people need to hear from you today? Why? Because he sees all. He knows all. So when I say something in a video and you go, man, I promise you, it seems like Nick was in my bathroom today, or Nick was in my living room or in my bedroom, because how could he have known that I was thinking that today? But guess what? It's something that he knew. Or it's something that I have been through myself. When I tell people the story that the day that I got fired from my job, over the phone no less, at like 8:30 or 9 in the morning, people go, oh, well, that happened to me too. How'd you know? Well, I really didn't know, but it happened to me. Or I didn't really know, but the Holy Spirit showed me. And that's what I talked about, right? This is why I talk about God-given purpose. But when you share the story like that in your content, people instantly find relatability. Somebody put relatability in the chat, or put relatable in the chat, right? Creating content shouldn't be hard. Finding things that you could create content about shouldn't be hard, because why? You lived a whole life, right? You lived a whole life. And so having content concepts should not be difficult, right? But it can be difficult if you make it that way. And one of the things I realized over the last 36 months, 39 months, is that having so many creators on social media telling you so many different things. You need to be doing this. No, you need to be doing this. No, you need to be following this trend on TikTok. No, you need to be following this new trend on Instagram. Oh no, you need to be following this trend on YouTube. No. How about you participate in the community, whatever app you're on, participate. Like, share, engage with comments meaningfully on video, and you'll have content. But learning how to segue and tie in things, learning how to create conversations about your business, regardless of the topic that you start talking about, is the key to creating unlimited content, right? But the second thing that you need to understand is not just creating content and creating content that relates, but creating content that's valuable. See, creating content, creating videos on social media is only half of the journey. The other half of the journey is creating valuable content, right? And what's valuable content? Valuable content is content that solves a problem, for one, right? Somebody put the words problem solving in the chat, right? Your content has to solve a problem, right? Whether it's and this is what I say about you not having to be the expert. When you're talking about something valuable or solving a problem that's valuable, let me ask you this, friend. Is the problem that you had valuable? Or not the problem, but is the solution to the problem that you had valuable? Right? It starts with the problem that you solved for you. And if you can showcase that by mastering your message, you can get people to see that, listen, this is not just a problem that I had, but you get to show them and they get to arrive at the knowledge that they had that problem too. And when they realize that they had that problem too, they go, oh, so wait, how did you solve that? And then it's no longer, hey, I figured out how to make money from home and you should come make money with me. It's more of, well, you are a dad that needed to figure out how to homeschool his kids, or you're a parent that needed to figure out how to homeschool his kids, and you didn't know, you were scared of where the money's going to come from if you take the time to homeschool your kids, because you can't do conventional employment most times in most situations and homeschool your kids effectively. So how did you figure that out? Right? It's a very different conversation when you frame your message that way. When it becomes less about, hey, let's turn your cell phone into an ATM, then versus, hey, let's turn your cell phone into a way that you can build a business and still be there for your kids and for your spouse. Which conversation is more powerful, right? But creating content like that is attractive to people because you're speaking to something they already know they need. See, as I've said this in my academy several times, we don't sell, we testify, right? We don't sell, we testify. We share our testimony and we provide a way to the solution that we found so that people can go get it. And when you create content on social media 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because you create a piece of content and it doesn't come down unless you take it down. and your video is working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is at this point in the conversation I will ask you, friends, if you had the ability to duplicate yourself doing the thing that makes you money right now, if you had the ability to duplicate yourself so that duplicate can go out there and do the thing that you do to make money, how many duplicates would you want? Real question, you can answer in the comments. How many duplicates would you want? Do you realize that every time I create a video, it's me duplicating myself? And I've created hundreds of videos in the last year. But here's the rub, here's the trick, right? Chris said a small village. Yup, I would too. I agree with that, right? One classic principle that I took from network marketing is it's about duplication, right? But here's the thing. It's not about just duplication of making a duplicate, because anybody could make a copy, right? You got these people out here making AI twins and all the kind of stuff like that, but they still wonder why they're not making any sales. Am I right or not? Right? The difference is not the fact that you have a small village of AI twins, but it's how effective, how competent are those AI twins? Every time I make a video, I duplicate myself. But this is 2000, let's say in this example, it's 2006, a year after I started learning how to market myself online. If I have 10,000 videos, are they going to be as good as if I had those same 10,000 videos in 2026? Are they going to be as effective? So it no longer becomes a conversation about how many times can you post a video, but how effective you are in each of those videos. Which brings me to the conversation about something that is actually a pillar inside the Kingdom Digital Academy. Consistency. Be more valuable, more relatable, and more consistent in your content so you become the hunted in business and not the hunter. Consistency. But here is the rub with understanding that principle the wrong way. Here's the thing about consistency. You could consistently do the wrong thing the wrong way. I'm going to give you an example. Is it possible in basketball, right? Or let's use the World Cup, because the World Cup is what's going on right now, right? Let's take World Cup soccer, right? We call it football in the rest of the world. Y'all can fight them in the comments if you want, but it's football, right? But let's say you practice and you become the best power forward in soccer, right? In football, right? Let's get that right. You become the best power forward in football. But every time you go up for a shot, you take the shot in the other team's goal, which means your own goal, right? Your goalkeeper's looking at you every 5 minutes like, what are you doing? Why are you coming down here like you trying to take the shot over here? You got to go over there. You're the best power forward in all of football, but you're taking shots in the wrong goal. How big of a difference could it make? Have you seen people on the For You page or the news feed that talks about the fact that learning digital marketing is a scam? Or promoting digital marketing courses is a scam? Or I'm getting out of digital marketing? I'm sorry, sweetheart, say what? You're getting out of the skill that gets you people? I'm sorry. Where are they doing that? Every business on the planet needs people. So how are you getting out of the industry that is the very lifeblood of business, right? But that's the thing. People don't know how to effectively be consistent in doing the right things. Watch this, long enough. I've literally been in communities online where people have said after 4 days, even 4 weeks, oh man, I've done something wrong. I've done something wrong. There's got to be something that I'm doing wrong. You haven't even begun to learn the right way or master the right way of how you do something wrong, and you haven't even learned a way to do it, much less the right way to do it, right? The thing about marketing is this: it's a multifaceted, multi-nuanced skill, but it's still the foundational skill you need to learn, whether you're doing UGC, whether you're doing TikTok Shop, whether you're doing content creation. You want to be an influencer and you want to go on YouTube or whatever it is and become a YouTuber. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you sell merch. The same principle applies. That's why I started a marketing school, right? So again, it's not just creating a digital product, right? It's not just having merch that you can sell. It's not just about creating UGC content that brand deals afforded you the ability to do on social media. It doesn't matter what you do. You still have to master your message, have to master delivery of that message, and you still have to automate your process so you can make money while you sleep. Those 3 things are foundational. And the 4th thing that you need, that you're going to see up here, is search engine optimization. Those 4 things alone, coupled together, is the perfect storm of success in business. But even learning those skills means nothing if you don't apply the skills. See, where content creation is where you learn how to create videos and learn how to create videos that algorithms will categorize and all that kind of stuff. Because of SEO, you have to understand that what you say in the video matters. How you communicate matters. So yes, I can create content. I can create content that relates. But if I don't have content that can be found on the social media platform because of search engine optimization, i.e. keywords are things that people are searching for right now, right? Your video will be invisible. That's why I say that it doesn't matter how good your product is. It doesn't matter how good your service is. If you're not found on social media, if your videos are not being watched on a minute-by-minute basis, and more people, new people, are watching your content every single day, you'll remain invisible. And you could be the best kept secret online. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the best kept secret in any way, shape, or form. I want as many people to know about this as humanly possible. Why? Because I know what this industry, the e-learning knowledge-based industry, did for me. All right, so let's get into how you apply this. You learn how to create a video. Learn how to tell people who you are, what you do, and how it helps them. Tell people where you were before you did what you did, before you got into what you got into, where you are now and what's changed, what's gotten better for you, where you intend to go or what you intend to do with that information, right? 6, 9, or 12 months from now, and give people a call to action so you can actually give them and lead them through that process of getting to know you, right? People have to get to know you, find common ground with you, and start trusting you because you're consistently giving them information that they never realized they needed because they're in front of your video. And you're going to use SEO, search engine optimization, using keywords, using searchable terms that you're going to have over your head so that the algorithm knows what in the world you're talking about. You're going to have a visual hook, which is what's over your head, 4 skills that help you build a business, build a digital business online, right? It has searchable keywords. So you can have a visual keyword. You're going to have a verbal keyword by using those keywords in your speech. And then the first line of your description with what's in the video down here, that also has to have searchable terms too, right? So again, visual, verbal, written in your description. If it makes sense, put makes dollars in the chat. Those 3 things have to be present, right? And I understand people have the conversation about hashtags and things like that. It does hashtags work and all these different things. I get that. I 100% understand. However, use hashtags, don't use them, but you must use keyword searchable terms in your content, right? So, next is you need to be creating content that you can use in your digital product creation. So like I got on here today to talk about the 4 skills that are going to help you build a digital business from scratch using your knowledge, your skill set, and your problem solving abilities, right? I create a video that basically explains what it is I'm trying to talk about, right? So when I do that, I spend 30 minutes, I spend an hour talking about what it is I'm talking about. And if you do that on TikTok, right? I don't know about the other platforms, but if I do that on TikTok, it will save my recording. And then once I'm done with my live stream, right? Or once I'm done with my video, because on video, like the created video, pre-recorded video only allows you on TikTok to be able to do about 10 minutes, right? You can still create a micro training for 5-10 minutes. That's cool on whatever it is you want to talk about, right? But creating a live stream, you can do one for 30 minutes or an hour talking about what it is you're talking about. Then you download that video from TikTok and then upload it to YouTube, right? Make sure when you start recording your live stream that you keep it in mind that you want to use that recording, right? And you can still do an editor like, what's this called? CapCut. CapCut is a free tool that you can use. There are features that you don't have to upgrade to the pro version to use. Captions, titles and things like that, text, sound effects, things like that you can use. Use CapCut and edit the video that you want to do the way you want to do it before you upload it to YouTube, right? Here's the key. You upload it to YouTube unlisted, right? When you upload that video after you're done editing it and things like that, you don't have to be an expert editor to be able to do that, right? You just have to have a cohesive message, which is why I train on that inside the Academy. By the way, if you haven't already done so, make sure you go to Kingdom Digital Academy, okay? Where you see it at the top of my page, all right? So, you upload it unlisted to YouTube. And once you do that, you will be provided with a video link on YouTube, right? Once you do that, you have that to be able to use wherever you need it to be used. Now, here's the rub. When I can give you a resource called system.io. It's a free platform that allows you to do automations and email marketing. Much more things are available to you through System.io, but you have a multi-use for that particular platform, right? But what you're going to do is you're going to use that platform to build a sales page, right? And there's training inside the academy that you can use to build that sales page, showing people what you're offering, how it made a difference for you, and how it can make a difference for them, right? I show you how to do that inside the academy. Thank you so much for the populars. Thank you so much for the heart me. I appreciate you so very much. What's up? Oh gosh, why am I forgetting your name right now? Life of Views. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Is it John James? I'm sorry. It's been a long time. It's been a while since you've been inside my live, my friend. But thank you so much, Life of Views. Roy. There you go. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate you, bro. But yes, so back to the process. You've recorded a video on TikTok. You downloaded the entire live stream after you talked about what it is you talked about. You introduced yourself. You talked about the problem you had. You talked about the problem that you solved. You talked about how it's making a difference for you, following the same 4 keys that I shared with you, 4 keys to creating relatable content. You do it in your lives as well as in your videos for your content, right? Also, you have established your System.io account. Again, that's free, right? We're talking about free ways to start a digital business, right? So you have a video, you have a platform, you can learn how to build a sales page, right? Inside, they have templates there you can use, right? For free, I have to emphasize that, right? And then when you create a payment button, or you create a button that people can click, right? What you do is you get a payment processor, something like PayPal or Stripe. If you have a business already, or if you have a domain already, right, you can use Stripe, right? Or you can use a social media platform, like let's say you have a IG or whatever it is, but it has to, if you're using Stripe as your payment processor, you have to have your social media platform said exactly what you do in business, right? There might be character limits for your bio or whatever it is, but Stripe requirements is that you have to do a detailed account of what it is you do in business. It has to clearly communicate that, right? But you can use PayPal, create a payment link, right? Regardless of which you do. You create a payment link, and I know through Stripe that you create that, you have the ability to take your customer that just paid you for whatever to a URL, a link that they can go to get what it is that they just paid for. It's called automating your sales process. So whatever you sell them, they can have access to right when they purchase it. Right? So, in this example, I'm going to do Stripe. I have instructions inside my academy on how to set up both types of accounts, both PayPal or Stripe, right? So, you make a payment link, and then when it says, where do you go? Where do you want to take your customer after they pay you? You take that YouTube video link that you just created. Again, you recorded a video for free. You uploaded the video to YouTube for free. You got that YouTube link. Put that where they go. Instead of a confirmation page, it has the ability on Stripe to take them to exactly where that video is through the URL. So let's say you set that training, like I did this one where I'm showing you how to start a digital business for free, right? If you want to offer that as a lead magnet to say, this is what you do, this is what you learn, you can do that, and you can set a price. Let's say you set it for $7 or $20 or whatever you want. Or if you want to do a paid offer, you can set your price for that. You can talk about what it is you talk about, and then you set up your paid offer like that. So where you're explaining, so when they pay for that, they go directly to the video that they paid to learn. How many people have you seen on social media platforms that are charging for masterclass? Somebody put the word masterclass in the chat. Here's something I want you to consider. What makes a masterclass? See, here's what I mean when I say that. People think you have to be famous to create a masterclass, right? People think that it has to make $10 million before it's a masterclass. But how many people out there say they have the best sourdough bread, or they have the best mac and cheese, or they have the best way to build something, right? But even deeper than that, I want you to consider. People think mastery is arriving at somewhere. That mastery means that you have nothing else to learn. It's one of the biggest mistakes that anybody can assume about the term mastery. Mastery only means that you figured out how to do something well enough to be efficient, but that is a learning and ongoing process. So which means a masterclass can be just that. What have you mastered? Right? Y'all understand? Put I understand in the chat. Right? A masterclass can be what it is that you have mastered. So you can have a training for 30 minutes, an hour, right? Based on something you have mastered. And you name it the such and such masterclass, digital income masterclass, right? Digital franchising masterclass, how to create digital product masterclass, right? Why? You've mastered it. Or creating sourdough bread, the sourdough bread masterclass. Listen, people can laugh if they want to, but there's somebody that will pay you for your masterclass. It don't have to be the person that's laughing. Do we get that? You shouldn't care with what people will assume about your product. Right? What's up, Leanna? How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Listen to me. How do you know that your favorite creator who says they're making millions of dollars, how do you know that they're actually doing that? Because they showed you a screenshot? Because they logged into their back office? How do you know it's true? How do you not know it's true? If they showed you or if they didn't show you. They have started with something that they believed in. And they believed in it so much that they persisted in learning how to do the thing that they are doing. And they became proficient at it. And they started teaching people because they didn't just get the process right. They learned and applied until they couldn't get it wrong. See, that's something else that people didn't even catch till just now. The trick is not to learn something till you get it right. But few people stick around to learn something till you can't get it wrong. The secret to what I'm showing you today is not just learning these 4 skills up here, right? It's learning the skills in such a way that you can master delivering your message, who you are, what you do, and how you make a difference for the person watching you enough so that they can decide, I need what this person has because they solved the problem that I have. They solved the problem that they had. And all they're doing is taking me from where they were to where I am. And because where I am is where they were, every time they move forward, I have the option to move with them. Does that make sense? Did I just describe mentorship for you? That's exactly what mentorship is. People just assume that because somebody says they're making $1 million, that this is the person that's going to make me $1 million. It don't have to be that. How many people have personal trainers that have the muscles? Their cuts have cuts. Their muscles have muscles that have muscles. But then they go to the training program, and then it's been 6 months, but they don't have one pack, much less 6. And then they want to get their money back. Why? Because they didn't get the result that they thought that they were going to get. But do the gyms work? 100% of the time. Yes, they work 100% of the time. But it's the same in learning and application. If you learn content creation, if you learn marketing, if you learn how to create digital products, if you learn how to automate your business, if you learn how to use search engine optimization strategies and tactics, if you learn how to do those things, then you will eventually be able to be at the goal that you set out to be at. It does not matter what you choose to start with, where you choose to start at. If you focus on every time you learn something, you apply it and you share the result, people will follow you. We do that for silly things. We do that for pizza. We do that for smoothies. We do that for yoga classes. We do that for our church. We do that for our cousin. We do that for our friends and boyfriends and girlfriends and these friends and those friends. So why can't we do the same thing in business? Why? Because you saw it on the For You page? Why? Because you saw it on the news feed? You have the ability. You always have the ability. But what it comes down to is you. Do you have the ability to believe in yourself and what God gave you long enough to act on it? This is one last thing before we go into the products and how you can become a part of the academy. Here's the thing. We don't have the problem of information. You live in the most technologically advanced time ever in the history of mankind. It's been easier now to make money without beads of sweat coming down your face ever in history. It's never been easier. But here's the thing. What we do have is an application problem. We don't know how to simply do what it is we learned. And I'm not saying that to make fun of anybody. I'm saying that because I went to many of workshop. I went to many of business meetings, took pages and pages and pages and pages of notes. But did I always do what I wrote down? No. I'll be honest with you. I didn't always do what I wrote down. I didn't always do what I learned. But when I started doing, when I started documenting, when I started sharing what it is I'm learning, how my life is transforming, then people started going, you know what? Maybe I should consider it. Maybe I should do it because his life is changing. And yes, it's making money, but money, here's the thing that everybody missed. Money is the byproduct of influence. Everybody wants to be an influencer for that very reason. But what are we influencing people to? Are we influencing people to $100 bills? Or are we influencing people to a process that will give them fulfillment, that will give them purpose, that will give them what they sought when they got on social media? Are we giving them something that will last? Are we giving them something evergreen, that it will be true today as much as it will be true 100 years from now? See, this will never change. People will always need to know how to be valuable to people that watch them or that take advice from them. People will always need to learn how to be relatable. People will always need to know how to consistently do the right things long enough to be able to achieve an outcome. People will always need to know how to attract people to their business, because nobody likes to bother people at 7:15 in the evening to be able to make an income. Can we agree? Everybody needs to know how to make an income for themselves on their own terms. Everybody wants that. Everybody needs the ability to redeem their time. Everybody needs to be able to do something that makes a difference. Everybody needs to have a win. And learning these skills gave me mine. The Kingdom Digital Academy was simply established to do this, to help people find their God-given purpose, to help people find the very thing that they would do if all of their bills were paid. The Kingdom Digital Academy was designed to help people learn how to find their message, master that message, master how to deliver that message in a relatable way so people will trust them. Because people just don't buy outcomes. People buy the trust they have in the individuals that they watch. And trust does not come without commonality. Trust does not come without relatability. Trust does not come without the intangible outcome being seen clearly before transaction happens. This is why social media is not just social media anymore. This isn't just about getting to know or see what your friends or family or people that you follow are doing. This is about trust media. Trust media says, this is not just why I follow you. This is why I trust you. So that when you come out with a product, when you come out with a business, when you come out with a service, I will instinctively look to buy because I trust in how you guide me. This is what successful businesses intrinsically understand. That they don't sell businesses, they don't sell products, they don't sell services, they leverage and sell and monetize trust. When people see the golden arches, when people see the Radisson sign, when they see Starbucks, when they see any given logo, when they see the Chick-fil-A logo, you trust that when you go to that business, you will see and you will get a certain level, a certain standard of service. That's what they sell. If you get people to trust in your brand, to trust in your business, they will pay whatever price you set. Why? Because they're buying confidence in your brand. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, put makes dollars in the chat. This is why the Kingdom Digital Academy was created. This is why the Kingdom Digital Academy exists, to help real people master their message, to help real people understand how to take the thing that God gave them and turn it into a monetizable skill. So if you want to learn more about that, go to the top of my profile and get your email address entered there so you can be able to get the information so you can enroll today. All right? So there are 4 ways you can enter the academy, right? The digital starter, the digital accelerator, the digital power builder, and the marketing codex. Those are my flagship programs. The digital starter is $597, right? $597 for the digital starter. It's a digital franchise that you get to leverage while you learn, as with the other programs, right? Now, I gave you the skills today to start your digital business for free. But here's what's not free: context. Context for your specific business, context for your specific journey. That's what my time is going to be needed for. That's what my resources, my skill set is going to be needed for. To be mentored to you and your business specifically, right? So the digital starter is a franchise that you're going to be able to leverage so you can bring something to Main Street right away, so that you don't have to go create something. Something is already created for you. You're going to be able to make 100% profit. But how do I make money? I make money because you paid the $597, right? It's a one-time payment for that franchise that you get to leverage. You get to leverage a system, a product, and the process. Just like real franchising, real life franchising, I should say, where if you bought a Chick-fil-A for $170,000, you would get a system, a process, and proven products that are already selling, including that line around the building, even though they're closed on Sunday, right? So, $597 for the digital starter. The digital accelerator is $997. The digital power builder, which is our upper tier, not the premier product. So digital starter is the ground floor. So think of it as the 101, right? In a college course, it's the 101. So that's $597. The digital accelerator is if you have a little bit more experience in marketing, if you have a little more experience in content creation, that's $997, right? If you want to start to diversify your business, diversify your portfolio in the digital world, you go to the digital power builder. If you want to learn how to do multiple platforms, multiple industries, and things like that, you want to start branching out, the power builder is for you. That is $1997. And then there's the premier digital franchise, which is the marketing codex. Now, the marketing codex encompasses everything that I have learned and mastered over the last 20 years. Over 20 years I've been in the digital industry. That product is $9,997, right? But here's what that comes with. That comes with all 4 franchises. So the starter, the accelerator, the power builder, and the marketing codex. But marketing codex patrons, they get 12 months of access to any franchise, any product, any training that I come out with in that 12-month period from date of purchase. So let's say somebody purchased the marketing codex today. Any product, any franchise, any training that I come out with in the next 12 months, they get access to at no additional charge from 12 months from their date of purchase of the marketing codex. Plus, they get their franchises that they get to promote, right? Something they did not design, did not create, do not maintain, but they get to make 100%. Plus, they get the mentorship, they get the trainings, they get all my trainings inside my academy, and they get the additional resources of getting to work with me directly in their business specifically, right? I have a page at the top of my page that explains everything that you get inside the marketing codex and all the other franchises, right? So those are the doors that you can choose to come in. There are other products that once you get inside my email list for free, where you see at the top of the page, Kingdom Digital Academy, you will be able to see some of the other products that I have. And I do have to let you know I have installment plans on every one of those, right? Every one of those I have an installment plan on. And people can literally enter the Kingdom Digital Academy for less than the cost of an iPhone 17 at the time of this recording, right? It doesn't have to take you forever. It doesn't have to take you all day. It don't have to take you all the sweat on your brow to be able to create income. I literally showed you how you can start building a digital business today for free, today, right now, in this moment. But if you want mentorship, if you want direction, if you want scalability, I am willing to help you. I am willing to help you grow. I am willing to help you shave some time off of that learning curve so you can redeem that time, right? I am going to help you. But as you, if it were you, you would want that somebody compensates you for your time. Amen? So that's why we attach a price. But inside this training, I have given you everything you need to know today that you can go out there and successfully master your message, successfully find a way to create a product based on a solution to a problem you had, to a solution you have for that problem. And because you're not the only one, people will be interested in paying you for said solution. But if you want to scale your business, if you want to have a set foundation that you can build something that lasts the test of time, then the Kingdom Digital Academy is where you need to be. Go to the top of my page to get the information to that. Let's see. Who was that just followed me? Steven, thank you so much. Unaverage home marketer. Thank you so much for following me. I really genuinely appreciate that. I don't know where my sound effects went, but I so much appreciate you for following me, my friend. I hope you have found value in today's stream. As everybody, I hope that you found value in today's live stream. If you missed most of the live stream, this will be recorded. This will be on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check that out, make sure you let me know by putting the hunted in the comments. I would love to get you or just put replay in the chat, and I would be inclined to get you the full replay if you get on my email list during my live while I'm live right now. If you're just joining and you missed how to create your digital empire for free, I literally broke that down today. All right. So Wolf Spider says replay. All right. If you want to learn exactly the blueprint that I followed in 2023 to create a system that I use to be able to be home with my kids, to be able to help raise them and not worry about where income is going to come from, because I have an automated business that solves problems for people every single day. Let me know by putting the hunted in the comments, and I would love to put the information into your hands. All right? As at this point, I will be taking some questions. So if y'all have questions, let me know in the chat right now, okay? If you have questions about the 4 skills, if you have questions about digital marketing, if you have questions about SEO, if you have questions about any of that, let me know in the chat. I would love to answer those questions for you, okay? So while y'all think of your questions, give me 1 second, guys. 1 quick second. All right, guys. So as I let you guys know, I do have my young ones here, so I just had to make sure we check on them. Like I said, guys, I come live to hang out with you guys, to guide you guys, to let you guys know exactly what's happening in this world so you can leverage this industry, the e-learning industry. But I'm a dad, right? I'm a dad. So, we just had to make sure we get that squared away. We got to make sure and take care of what we got to take care of. But I don't see any questions. Let's see what the AI says. The AI says if you don't know about TikTok Live, they actually have like the AI trying to see what you're talking about, and they suggest what the summary is. It says a digital business training is being offered for free. I'm glad because that's spot on, right? But I hope you guys found value in the stream today. Let's see, where are we right now? We are at 20,000 likes. That's what's up. Let's see how else we did. We had some people drop some gifts, so thank you guys so much for the gifts. You guys don't have to give, but I really appreciate that you chose to gift. I appreciate you guys grabbing the heart me's and things like that. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to stay throughout the entire stream. Chris stayed throughout the entire stream. There's several people that stayed for a while too. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Everybody that stops through, I want you guys to know that it really does matter, right? Because my goal here is to help people understand the most valuable skill in human history that really changed my life, and it changes lives of several million people every single day. It's not just me talking about this. There's so many people across the planet that are using this, but I help American families really understand how to get started in this skill. All right. Wolf Spider says, check your DMs real quick. Can I check while I'm on live? I only have that thing open. Let me see. Let me see if it will. I don't think I can check it right here. Let me see if it will. Let's see. I don't think it will. Maybe it will. I clicked on something and it's loading. So let's see. I'm gonna have to check when I get off, my friend. I'll have to check when I get off because I don't see your email, your message here. Now, I want you guys, as I've said before, if you're on social media, I rarely ever DM people first, right? I rarely ever DM people first because there are enough duplicates of me online. So, guys, please be safe. If a picture of me, not of you, if a picture of me messages you first, understand that, wait, what? It says consuming substances featured in this live could harm. What? I have a hat on my head. TikTok, I'm not consuming. Look at my hands. Look at my hands. I don't have nothing in my hands. I'm not consuming nothing. I'm not consuming nothing. You see how the AI can mess it up? I'm not consuming nothing, TikTok. Exactly. The only thing I'm probably consuming is my saliva. Right? Let's see. It's on TT. I can send it in email. Let's see, what are you sending? I made a banner and want your input. All right. I don't know how you sent it. Let me see. I would have to. Yeah, I would definitely look at this after the stream. All right. So, anyways, guys, let me go ahead and jump off here. I don't see any questions, and TikTok looks like they're going through something right now because they're suggesting I'm doing things that I'm not doing. I'm really, like, y'all see my hands. I've got nothing in my hands, and I don't do anything. I don't consume any substances that is being suggested here. So let me jump off of here. All right. But if you've watched this entire training and you found value, let me know in the chat. And wherever you watch this, whatever platform you watch this, if you're not already following me, make sure you follow me and you turn on post notifications so you know when stuff like this comes out. Because again, this is about helping you. But always remember, if you do nothing, it means nothing. But if you do something, it could change everything. All right? I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. But until next time, live life, love God. See you when I see you.